I didn't have a good experience in public school, but where I had transformative experiences was the boys club, was park and rec, was summer camp. And one of the, I think my father was disabled. And he, he had adopted me. So I think there was several voids that what he realized was areas that he couldn't provide. He gave permission. Like, I'm blessed, man. I had a number of older brothers, for whatever the reason, that mentored me. And a lot of times dads are like real protective. Like, that's my son. Don't say anything to, like, don't want other men to pour into. And for some of it, for right reason, right? You just don't know what, but my dad knew when to let go and allow. Like, one of my best friends to this day, I met when I was 7 and he was only 13. But I needed something that my dad was like, I can't give that to him. Like, he needed kind of a big brother with, and just some guidance. Other folks, like, so I say this to say, around the birds and the bees, that wasn't my dad. But then I had another kind of older brother that, was more on the party side and not like crazy sort of thing. But my dad also was like, hey, was kind of cool with, me having big bruh in the spirit of, helping me kind of navigate those things, in particular young adult, that he just couldn't, because he was, devout Catholic, and his way worked for him, but he knew that wasn't necessarily my vibe. So I say this to say, I think the voids, what my dad acknowledged what he couldn't provide in others, and then was able to at least screen enough to be like, oh man, I'm gonna let Chris connect with Gary. I'm gonna let Chris connect with Lucas. I'm gonna let Chris connect with Zelty and these other brothers, which was a blessing. Never took for granted or took advantage of. They helped me grow in these other areas that my dad knew that wasn't, he was necessary yet insufficient. And so in that, I think it was multiple pronged, that allowed me, my dad dropped out of community college, and not that was any, like, he valued education, but he realized early on, I think for me, I needed to get exposed to some folks kind of outside of maybe his area. So he gave permission for me to meet and connect with other brothers that really helped me really just have this extraordinary life. But because I got to meet folk who then, I got to travel, or I got to go in different places I would have never gotten exposed to based on my dad's journey. So that would be kind of my response to the void piece, is that my dad gave space for these other folks who came from different background, so to speak. Actually, they were all Black. Let me be clear about that, but different, journeys in terms of what they were exposed to, kind of continue to mentor and coach. So that was a blessing.